Hi, it's the 22nd of March, 2024, and it's 17:02. Not that it matters. I don't know why I always start when I do recordings with the time and date. Um, I've got loads of things to talk about. As a teacher, my high school used to say when kids used to talk a lot, I was one of those, you have diarrhea of the mouth, and I can talk for England, so to speak. Um, when I get onto when my mind is I'm away with the fairies, kind of thinking about things, I can be very articulate, and I think, why is this, and wonder about that, and I think about all the ifs, ands, whys of the world, and why things run the way they do, and blah blah blah. So, in that vein, I would like to share some of my insight, wisdom, whatever you want to call it. I think I'm old enough now to say that I'm a wise woman. I think you get to that age, I'm officially a wise woman apparently. So what I was going to I've got loads and loads of different things that I want to kind of present, but what I was going to talk about today, and it's just something I was mulling over when I was making a cup of tea the other day, is um, why we tend to forgive people we don't know, and we don't forgive the people we do know. So what led me to this? Partly I've been working on my family tree. Absolutely love history, and that's maybe why in the last handful of years I was good at joining dots, because I have a pretty good understanding. I wouldn't say I know everything, but a pretty good understanding of what happened in the war years and what happened in the past. And you had other despots on the planet doing despotic things, and all that stuff. Anyway, that's a whole nother topic, which is for another day. But I've been working on family tree stuff, and there was there was some division on family with certain you don't talk to them, and they're the bad side of the family and all that. And what I realized, I mean, I'm getting older now, and the last time I went to a function, which unfortunately was a funeral, I thought, I don't care who's here, and that we don't normally talk to them or whatever. And I talk to everybody that's I'm related to, even just if it was a couple of words. And what I found interesting, and I don't want to name names, or it's not about that, but the ones that I was told, well, we stay away from them, actually was the nicest person, well, one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. And some of the ones that were considered the cool family members kind of ignored me, and I couldn't understand the ignoring. But again, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is there. I honestly don't know, because I didn't grow up with these people, so they didn't know me, other than when once or twice as a child we visited for however many weeks we were there. So it's not as if I grew up. But the point I'm trying to get to, and I'm going to try not to waffle too much, working on family tree, and coming to the realization that not just in this generation, but in past generations, you had family division for whatever reason. Hearing some tales about how this great grandmother, great great grandmother, whoever in the past, or even reading things or hearing things, they had a breakup with their partner, or they had a breakup with their siblings or their parent or whatever. People went their separate ways, and all the rest of it. And it's interesting that it's almost like it's then ingrained that we don't like those people. We don't talk to those people. There's no room for forgiveness. There's no room for conversations. There's not even a room for compassion or trying to understand what they were going through, because we all go through crap in our lives, where we have difficulties, and it's not for anyone outside of us to try and judge it or make sense of it. If they want to understand what we're going through, then they can sit down and say, I can see that you're going through a difficult time. What's going on, and how can I support you, blah blah blah. But we just look at it from our outside, and then we like to throw about judgment. Oh, well, they left their partner, they left their children, they left. Okay, you can judge it for their deserting their family, but there could be other reasons. There are other things going on. So the whole point I'm trying to get to is why we don't forgive the people or have a conversation or trying to mend things. And certainly the older I get, the more I see that I'm more mature now than I was, say, 30, 40 years ago, 50 years ago. So I have more capacity for appreciating that in life we screw up, and in life we can't possibly understand what anyone else is going through, and that also none of us are the same. We're all different. And what is really weird, and this is a whole nother tangent of thing I can talk about, is how we are who we are, and we want everything and everybody to change to suit us rather than we change to suit, I don't know, the world. It's just weird. The only being that we have any control over is ourselves. But we get really frustrated, angry, disappointed, whatever, when we see the rest of the world not changing to what we think it is normal or the proper behavior. But what got, like I said, and I may not get right to the point because this is the first video I've done in a long time, but it's this idea that we carry these grudges our entire life of people that we are actually blood related. We may not grow up with them. So I didn't grow up with any of my extended family. I didn't know them in the way that some families do, where you get together on Christmas and birthdays and whatever, and you have some sort of bond. So I didn't know my extended family at all. But at the end of the day, still blood related. And even the people in your community, you're not blood related to the people that live on your street, but they're people that you have access to. You can get to know your neighbors. You can get to know people in your town. I go to the market every week and I meet the stall holders and say hello. It's just general conversation, but we can connect with people that are within a tangible distance. But what I find, so I find that weird that we don't forgive, we don't have compassion for. It's almost like, no, we don't have anything to do with those people. Whether it's I live around some people who are not very nice to me. I have no idea why. Um, I find it weird. I just keep to myself. And never even sharing a conversation, which I find strange. Anyway, um, but the thing that I find even weirder is we forgive people we don't even know. So there are people who are in the media. They're rich, they're royal, they're um, billionaires, they're famous, they're singers, they're actors, you name it. All these people that are in the media world, that are on your television, in your newspapers, and are on social media and everything, have all their followers. They can do all manner of things, even some really horrible things, and it's like the next day we've forgiven them. I mean, the one that irks me the most is governments, because the government is supposed to be our employee. They're paid from our wages, our taxes. They're our civil servants. They're our servants. They do whatever, all manner of everything. And anytime something happens, the first thing I think of is if I had a job and I did that, I'd be fired. Not only would I be fired, I wouldn't be able to find another job. But we just forgive them. We all forgive them. And I don't want to name names in the sense of, the, what do you call it, the the computer, what do you call it, the YouTube bots or whatever. But there are politicians out there, not just in the UK where I live, but in the US and other countries as well. Name a country, pick a country. There that are that have committed things where, in a normal working situation, they would have lost their job. Some have led us to war that are not that weren't valid for valid reasons, and they're not only they're not in jail, but um, they're still contributing towards governmental processes. And I don't understand why we forget that or forgive. I don't know. Maybe if you ask the common people, they say, "Oh, I haven't forgiven that this happened." We remember the egg crisis thing back in the 80s or 90s. That whole debacle. Um, Maybe the people would say, "Oh, I don't forgive it. I just can't be bothered with it." But it's weird that we just kind of put it under the rug. We don't care. Okay, it's fine. We get on, and then we still, I don't know, we still vote in the system, or we still pay to see a concert, or we still buy the magazine. We still revere some of these people, and I can't comprehend it. So if the people that either you live together in a community, you don't talk to at all because, I don't know, they looked at you funny, or you don't talk to family because you were brought up with the idea that that's the bad part of the family, but you don't know why. No one's ever told you. But these are people that you have access to. These are people you can break bread with. And yet you have these famous people that it just passes over. I mean, there'll be some sort of thing that comes out. Somebody's done something really horrible, um, abused somebody or killed somebody or hit their wife or whatever. And within a short time, it's like gone and forgotten. Yeah, but they're a good singer. I know they did that to their wife. I know they punched their wife, but they're a good singer, so I don't mind. It's very strange to me, how we forgive them, and then we're quite happy to just carry on buying into whatever they're selling us. There was something else. Let me pause for a second. Okay, I thought of my mind's going a million miles an hour. But yeah, I mean, our family members or our neighborhood or our community, there might be people there that do far less. They might just look at you funny, and you've canceled them forever. Just a sec. Sorry, phone. Real life stuff. So there's things that are, maybe neighbors or families, whatever, do that aren't as dramatic as somebody in the public eye. You see scandals all the time in the government with famous people, with, whatever. And like I said, we forgive them for a lot worse things. And then you get the people that'll say things like, "Oh, they seem really nice." There's this royal person or this famous person. "Oh, they seem really nice." And I think, but you don't know them. You know what little bit that they want you to see. You see them in a photograph. You see them photo op. They're out doing a job. They're cutting a ribbon. So of course they're going to be smiling. They're going to look their best and everything else. But we have this idea that if someone looks good, their hair's done, they got nice dress on and everything, that they must be a good person. Um, I'm trying to make sense of it. But anyway, I don't want to ramble on too long. Otherwise, I'm going to lose the thread a little bit. But it's just something I just struggle to understand is why. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now. And hopefully I'll do some more videos. As I say, have random thoughts, and I kind of like join dots and things, and I just have a need to say it. And if someone watches it and can glean something from it, great. If not, no worries. Anyway, thank you for listening, and I hope you have a fantastic day on planet Earth, and namaste.